No?
Yeah.
We'll wait for it to pull up, just to make sure. Looks like we are now live and up, so if everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:03 p.m. on July 28th. Jason, if we can go ahead and roll call, please.
Can somebody hand me a pen that works, please?
There's one here.
Nope, I got it, thank you.
These pens are really, they have like a little,
Shirley Burkhorn,
here.
Ryan Wakely,
Here.
Jessica Mendoza,
Here.
Conrad Levinsky,
Here.
Jordan Dirksen,
Here.
Camille Wilcox,
Here.
Linda Wolfhard,
Here.
Tom Green,
Yep.
Jason Hagberg.
Okay, cool, thank you. Moving forward, if I can get a motion for approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
If I can get a
Second
second
it.
on that, thank you. Jason, let's go ahead and do roll again.
Shirley Burkhorn,
Aye.
Ryan Wakely,
Aye.
Jessica Mendoza,
Aye.
Conrad Levinsky,
Hi.
Jordan Dirksen,
Aye.
Camille Wilcox,
Aye.
Linda Wolfhard,
Aye.
Cool, motion carries. If I can get a motion for approval of the minutes, and yes, we are approving all currently standing minutes right now.
I'll make a motion.
If I can get a second on that,
I'll second.
and Jason, let's do roll again, thank you.
Linda Burkhorn,
Aye.
Ryan Wakely,
Aye.
Jessica Mendoza,
Aye.
Conrad Levinsky,
Hi.
Jordan Dirksen,
Aye.
Camille Wilcox,
Aye.
Linda Wolfhard.
Aye.
Okay, and then let's just take a look at this real quick. Make sure I'm not missing anything significant to talk on. Pretty straightforward. If I can get a motion for approval of the bills and warrants list.
I'll make a motion.
If I can get a second on
Second.
that. Thank
I'll
you.
second.
Jason, roll call once again, thank you.
Shirley Burkhorn,
Aye.
Ryan Wakely,
Aye.
Jessica Mendoza,
Aye.
Conrad Levinsky,
Hi.
Jordan Dirksen,
Aye.
Camille Wilcox,
Aye.
Linda Wolfhard.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Moving forward in open issues, do we have anything carrying over from last meeting we need to discuss, or any open issues right now? I don't believe so. The only, I think, I got something I'll discuss during new business for tree removal. But as far as that, I don't think there's any open issues carrying over. So we'll kind of go ahead and move on into Resolution R4-20, a resolution approving the final plat of Capron Dollar General subdivision in Capron, Illinois. Now, this is something we already discussed. We already gave a tentative approval at the previous meeting. We actually got the finalized plat in, and so we're just finalizing what we've already approved at an earlier date. Is there any questions concerning this? We kind of got everything taken care of. We got the property transferred. I believe most of that happened tonight, Alex, correct? The signatures you needed in the plats and everything?
Yeah, the plats, we'll set that in motion.
Okay, so we'll be able to finalize them actually acquiring the property and then getting to breaking ground and stuff like that. So is there any questions concerning this resolution at all? Now would be the time. Okay, so if I can I get a motion to approve resolution R4-20?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Jason, let's go ahead and do roll call.
Shirley Burkhorn,
Aye.
Ryan Wakely,
Aye.
Jessica Mendoza,
Aye.
Conrad Levinsky,
Aye.
Jordan Dirksen,
Aye.
Camille Wilcox,
Aye.
Linda Wolfhard.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Then moving forward, because we did approve that plat, we're subdividing that property, obviously we need to give them an address. So Jason worked with the county already, we kind of came to an agreement that the proposed address be 741 East Main Street for the Dollar General site. It just kind of follows the numbering, I guess, nomenclature in place so far. It doesn't really change anything, and so just what would, naturally follow in progression. Is there any questions concerning this address? If not, can I get a motion to approve the proposed address?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, Jason, let's go ahead and do a roll call.
Shirley Burkhorn,
Aye.
Ryan Wakely,
Aye.
Jessica Mendoza,
Aye.
Conrad Levinsky,
All right,
Jordan Dirksen,
Aye.
Camille Wilcox,
Aye.
Linda Wolfhard.
Aye.
okay, and then moving forward into a relatively new topic. it's something that's been thrown around a little bit, and just kind of to preface it a little bit, this is something Jason and I have discussed. We discussed again tonight. I believe we came to an acceptable agreement for the transfer and everything. We're looking to move Jason to Public Works, like has been previously discussed. And then before us, we have Ms. Carolyn Matthews, which would be filling Jason's large shoes at this point as the clerk. Kind of the thought process it came down to was, no offense to Ms. Matthews, we could fill the clerk position more readily than we could fill the Public Works needs. And Jason could fill that position in a more expedient manner and better than the candidates we were seeing originally come around. And so Jason and I talked about this originally. There had been interest in this before. It wasn't just something I was like, hey, this is what I'm going to do out of the blue situation. I'd like to reiterate, Jason is not going anywhere. Jason is not leaving the village. Jason is not going to be unemployed. We are just moving Jason to another department. I don't want to see Jason go anywhere. He's a benefit to the village. He's going to be a benefit to Public Works. And honestly, he's going to have a greater impact there, just like he had the impact in the office as well. And he kind of set that in motion. So like I had sent the reference letters to you guys already concerning Miss Matthews. So she'd come highly regarded from those two individuals. I went over her resume with more than 30 years experience in administrative and office settings, volunteer work, the like. She seemed like a good fit for us. So if there's any questions, now would be the kind of time to approach them. Obviously, let's keep it as professional as possible. Let's keep it work experience related. I know a couple had popped up. Yes, Ms. Matthews lives within 35 miles. Yes, she does meet the requirements set forth by ordinance. Yes, she is a registered voter. Everything that the village has on in ordinance right now, she meets qualifications for. That was kind of part of the original vetting process when I got to this point. So with that in mind, do we have any questions kind of moving forward at all?
Will the pay stay the same as what we were paying Jason, or will it be different?
So the pay is going to be different. Obviously, we're looking at a change in experience level. And I'm going to honestly expect more of Miss Matthews than what Jason had in the office. And so what we're going to kind of do is we're going to bring her on, and I'm going to say, look, Jason was doing great. You need to meet what Jason was doing, but we're also going to have to see you do this as well. We're going to take some of that workload from Mike a little bit when it comes to administrative paperwork and everything. We're going to take some of the filing requirements from Alex a little bit with the administrative end of it. Let them focus on making sure things work properly, and Carolyn's going to help us make sure that it gets filed properly. And so the agreement we had kind of come to after some research, I looked at the surrounding communities. Almost every community around us has at least 2 clerks. 2 clerks, possibly a utility clerk as well. They're all being paid anywhere from roughly $16 to $25 an hour is what the kind of pay rate's at. So I thought a happy medium was to bring in, and what we kind of agreed to is at $22 an hour starting rate. I think that is fair for the experience level. Like I said, we're talking over 30 years experience in an administrative setting. I think that if we want to start, like, you know, Jason's going to be making impacts in Public Works now, like he's making an impact here, we need to keep making those impacts moving forward and kind of stepping up a little bit, you know. So the office, we need to step into the next era of what Village of Capron is going to be, and what we're seeing from the office and administrative aspect of everything. So I think that kind of makes sense. Does that make sense with everybody else? Is there any questions or concerns with that?
I looked at the range of salary for that type of position, and you're right in the ballpark there. Okay. So.
And that's what. And honestly, for some of the responsibilities, and luckily Carol and I have already kind of come to an agreement on this, some of the responsibilities we see usually reticent of an administrator. And we really don't have the administrative role. I take on a lot of those responsibilities, but she is stepping up to take some of those back, which is why I was like, we need to take that pay and have it show accordingly to kind of keep investing in people in town. Is there any other questions, or does that make sense? Hopefully it does.
I just had some people that were complaining that they didn't see it posted, and that was the only thing, so.
So I actually received several applications, you know, over the time frame. It was posted online. which seems to be what we see the biggest response to. I forewent the paper because we got almost no response from that, and especially with considering the cost to make that post, through physical means. Online was unequivocally a much larger response, and so that's what I went with. And so it happened that Carolyn's qualifications kind of set that bar rather high as we kind of looked into the hiring process.
And she understands that it's an evolving responsibility.
Yeah,
As you go, you're going to find things that she will have to take on.
No, exactly, and that's like one of the things we were looking at doing, and what I wanted to do with the opening of the office, and it's a good time to bring on somebody to tackle that, as our hours are going to be expanding. And so to start with, we're going to be doing 8 to 4:30, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Carolyn's going to be in the office 8 to 4:30 on Wednesdays, but it's going to be a closed to the public kind of day, so that way she can tackle the administrative aspect of it, handle bills, things like that. She'll still be available for calls and questions and such. It just won't be visiting hours during that time. And then as we kind of get her in that role and we see how it kind of works, if we see the need changes, then we could potentially change that. If we find that people are looking for more of a 9 to 5 kind of position, I already discussed it with Ms. Matthews, we might flex to more of a 9 to 5, or we might do 9 to 5 these days, 8 to 4:30 these days, kind of, thing. So that way we meet the needs of the most residents that we possibly can. So no, like I said, we're kind of expanding the position as it currently sits, and that's another reason I wanted to kind of move Jason, to Public Works, where we could accommodate a different schedule with him as well, because family is huge with him. That's something we want to work around, and we can better meet the needs of his family and what he's looking to get out of this, by being able to flex that way while meeting the needs of the residents and flexing this way through the administration portion of it.
The only other question I
Yeah.
have is, and I
Yeah.
hate to kind of say it this way, but is she related in any way to you?
She is not related in any way to him.
Okay.
But let's be clear, it would not make a difference.
But
This village has never, and I just want to be clear on this because I know there's a nepotism attitude out there in this village. Historically, we've had relatives, at one time we had almost the whole board and everyone, they were related, which made it a little messy, because if they were fighting in their family, we had issues on the board, right? So it would not matter whatsoever if she was his mother, sister, brother, father. We have no rule against hiring relatives.
so, that is
I just wanted
completely
to make
valid.
that
Yeah.
clear, because
No.
I know that comes up a lot, and this village is small, and honestly, many times if we didn't have relatives, we wouldn't have a full board, right? So, especially in the past, when we only had 500-600 people here,
Yeah. No, and that's definitely
So-
something we saw before, and I appreciate that as well. But no, she's not related to me.
Okay.
I am not beholden to her in any shape or form.
Okay. I'm fine.
So, okay. Is there any further questions that way then, as far as this goes? Because what's gonna kind of have to happen is I would then, ask to appoint, or I'd make the motion to appoint Carolyn to the position of village clerk, and I need to get the consensus from the board. Correct, Tom? Is kind
Well,
of,
you put the name forward, you need a
Okay.
motion, you need a motion to approve the name, a second, and then a vote.
okay, and so if
You're the only person who can put a name forward.
Okay.
But then a concurrence of the board requires a vote.
So, if anything, I'd like to put the name, Carolyn Matthews' name forward. If I can get a motion to approve Carolyn Matthews as the new clerk and the appointment.
I'll make a motion to approve Carolyn Matthews.
Okay, thank you, Linda. And then if I can get a second on that,
I'll second.
thank you, Ryan. And then Jason, let's go ahead and do roll call.
You gotta cut out
I know.
Shirley Burkhardt,
Aye.
Ryan Wiggly,
Aye.
Jessica Mendoza,
Aye.
Conrad Levinsky,
Oh, I don't vote on this
Sorry,
one, sorry.
Jordan
I'm sorry,
Dirksen,
he doesn't vote.
Aye.
Camille Wilcox,
aye.
Linda Wolford,
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Village Assembly. So, moving forward, we'll kind of keep it brief since there's not a whole lot going on. Trustee Wilcox, do you have anything that you'd like to discuss this time?
I have nothing at this time, I just have a question. When will she start?
So I think we had discussed potentially mid-August right now. We were waiting for this to happen so she can give her 2 weeks' notice. And then what we're going to do is once that follows through, we kind of go from there. And then Jason will spend a couple weeks with her training and going through that process and help over the next month as we kind of roll into the position. So I'll let everybody know once we have a concrete date, but it kind of depends on how her current position responds to it. So, is that all?
That's all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Dirksen?
I have nothing
Okay.
to discuss this evening.
Trustee Wolfarth.
I have nothing at this
Thank you.
time.
Trustee Berghorn.
Nothing.
Trustee Mendoza.
No comment.
Okay. Trustee Wakely.
Yes, I would like to bring the idea that I've gotten from a neighbor of mine of, he's interested in the library and obviously it's shut down so there's no public access. So he threw out the idea of doing one of those outside library boxes and putting a sanitary bottle of lotion on the side of it and, you know, checking all the books, you know, miscellaneous genres obviously, kind of like a take one, give one type deal, and to see what everybody's thoughts were on that, since I know people do use a library and can't have access to it, so.
I think it sounds like a wonderful idea.
I think it's nice even if it's not the library, I've seen it in different towns.
Yeah.
Definitely. I like the idea. I think, we talked about that a little bit before. I think what I'd like to see, maybe you could look into this too, is to like get a, like look at maybe, I don't know if the CDC has anything, but a rundown of how the COVID-19 is transferred.
Right.
And so we can just cover ourselves from any liability at that point, you know?
Right, yeah.
Before we make a motion to approve it necessarily.
Right. I mean, we could even put like Ziploc bags each book or.
Yeah, and so
something
my
like
only concern would be, you know, people bringing them back and then putting them back in.
that. Yeah, see that, and we could also, do like a check thing too, to make sure whatever book goes out, it doesn't get returned or whatever. I
So-
mean, obviously we won't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but-
exactly.
Or have a
we got
separate bin
cameras.
or something, maybe to put the books in.
So we can
Right, yeah,
sterilize
yes.
them. Yeah, no, I
They have a
agree.
separate box, a
So,
box.
I'm thinking, I like the idea, I really do, I wanna jump on it and say yes. Maybe if what we can do is if like you could look into it a little bit.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
bring it to the next meeting, you give us a quick report, like, hey, there's no fear of it transferring in this manner, or we can do this to avoid this.
Right.
And then jump on it there, so that way we can at least tell the residents, we've done our homework, we've covered ourselves, you know, we don't have to worry about this, right? There's at least a small likelihood that this might be a concern.
Right, I mean, just like grabbing groceries at the store.
Yeah, exactly. So if that sounds good to you, is that
Yeah,
okay with the
yeah.
board? That we kind of, I guess, I like the idea, think about it, maybe have Ryan give a report next meeting.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we can move forward. I mean, it's not gonna put us any farther back than we are right now.
Yeah,
At
and
least
like
we-
I looked up one of the boxes is like $15
Okay.
for the box, and I have
Awesome.
posts, so.
Perfect, yeah, no, I really like the idea, I do. I think we've needed one for a while now, so.
Yeah.
If we could just, you know, dot the i's, cross the t's, and we'll go from there.
Definitely.
Cool, thank you, Trustee Wakely, appreciate it.
Yep.
Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Not going into executive session. Mr. Green, I don't think you have anything to report on?
No, I mean, we're working on Dollar General, we're working on the residential, we're working on USDA. All those projects are moving forward, but nothing specific to report.
Okay, awesome, thank you. New business, I'll jump in on that then with this one. We've got a tree in town that needs to be removed. And so it's 150 North 3rd Street on 150 North 3rd on North Street. The tree is dying and or dead. Yes, it's got leaves on it, but larger branches are starting to decay and break off. It's in the right of way, it's becoming a hazard. So it is our responsibility to remove said tree. So I was looking just for a general consensus from the board to kind of push forward with this removal. What we're looking at right now is an estimate from Danny Tree Service. It's who we've used before. They did a very good job when they removed the other trees. We're looking at a trim the large walnut tree, and then haul away all the wood, and then remove dying, and then also remove a dying maple tree and haul it away. And that one's on 150 North 4th on North Street. And so we've actually.
If I can tell you about the.
Yeah, go ahead, right up there.
The trimming of the tree is the section on North Street that we just had patched and repaired last year. And the reason that portion is so bad is because this tree hangs so far over and is constantly dripping the drips, you know, when it rains. And it's beating the road up. So the concern is having it repaved last year. We'd like to clean it back so it's not constantly hitting that pavement and ruining brand new pavement that we just paid to have replaced last year. The other one is obviously dying. Trimming one, dead one's gotta go.
So the trimming, the one you're trimming is a walnut tree?
Yes, we'd be trimming the walnut tree.
Because that will grow back.
Yeah.
Big limbs.
Right.
It's not like another type of tree
Yeah,
that'll
no,
just
but,
stay trimmed
and
back.
you know, Jason obviously jogged my memory, we're already seeing impacts to the asphalt underneath this tree because of the shade it's
I'm
providing.
wondering if we should just take it down.
Walnuts
It
aren't
is-
bad for the road, I've heard.
Is it better to remove it altogether?
The only problem is, it's a rather large tree, and here, I'll kind of pass it around, and it's very established, I don't know how.
I believe
Oh, yeah,
they said
that's
they
huge.
could trim it back to
Yeah.
the point where it won't cause any problems, and
Yeah.
in a few years,
That's
it may need retrimming, but not
To the point where it's gonna impact our current paved
Can I see the
job.
diamond one?
Yeah, there you go. So, and as everyone's aware, I am not big on taking trees down or removing trees hastily. It's something I'd rather avoid at all costs if we can, but these two have kind of put us in a situation where it's not really avoidable at this point. And then trees in the right of way obviously are a liability issue if something was to happen or the tree was to fall.
I just know we have one across the street from me, the parsonage, the Lutheran church used to own the property, and they trimmed it right down to nothing.
Okay.
To the trunk.
Mhm.
And now, it's a beautiful tree, but it's back out there, and it's only
Okay.
been a few years.
Yeah.
So it didn't take long. So I just don't know what's the difference between removal, complete removal, and
We didn't quote to have that one removed,
Yeah.
fully trimmed.
And I think we're only looking at for removal of one tree and the trimming is coming out to $1,500 total. And so it's a rather small cost relatively to some of the removals we've had before, when the full removals ended up costing probably several $1,000s for some of the earlier ones we had. And I know that previous administration had several trees removed, and having trees of this size removed were a few thousand apiece.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And it's
the
probably
big
better.
tree.
Right now,
Sorry,
it's
go ahead.
different.
And then, because our project is still happening down through that,
Yeah.
we may have other trees that need it more too, so,
Exactly.
yeah.
It looks like the work that needs to be done on the big walnut is probably about
Get on them with that side of the
half of what the work on to take,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
the tree that needs to come
Yeah.
out looks like it's maybe twice the work as it will be just to trim the one walnut, so.
But if that's okay with the board, if there's any, questions, obviously ask them. But I'd like to kind of move forward with this and let Mike know he can kind of go ahead with the removal. And so I guess if we can just get a general consensus from everyone, is that okay, Ms. Shirley?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yep.
Linda?
Yes.
Ms. Wilcox, yeah? And then
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we'll kind of move forward with that. Nothing too major. If anything changes, I'll
Only
make
if
sure.
I get some of the firewood.
I gotta make sure not to
I got a big burn pit.
You're mentioning trees, I had a question.
Yeah.
The property that's on North Worcester, it's like the second house in, I think. The grass is like super high, there's nobody in the house.
We've already been emailing them and we're working on that right now. I was there the other week taking pictures and Jason has been talking with the bank. So hopefully we're gonna have that cleaned up relatively
So they'll at
soon.
least mow it or something.
Yeah, it's just,
Okay.
dealing with banks is a slow process, especially
We
right
have to
now
wait for
with.
judgments and certain
Yeah.
Yeah.
legal procedures.
It just
Crews
looks
over
so
there on
bad,
the
that's why I wondered. Okay.
So that's that for new business. Reports and unfinished business, I guess we'll just touch real quick on the water main project. I'm sure everyone's seen it. They're making significant headway, they're moving quickly, they're getting it knocked out. It was kind of funny as they were digging, they ended up digging up a pipe. And they're like, what is this? And it was one of the original water mains.
wow.
Yeah, and I
Wow.
think it was an inch or an inch and a half water main fed that entire side of town.
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah, they ended up running into that. Things have been going smoothly, there hasn't been any issues, so hopefully within the next, 2 weeks here, they're gonna be kind of wrapping up that portion of it. And then they'll start working on the road repairs and then the final hookups and then putting in sidewalks and the whole 9 yards. So that's going great, we're moving very quickly and we'll see that done relatively soon. Okay, moving forward to audience comments. It is now, let's see here, 7:25. So we'll go ahead and give it till 7:29. I see we're a little bit behind on the video for any audience comments. Call into the phone number 815-569-2351. Comment on YouTube as we're streaming live through right now. Any questions, we'll try and answer them if obviously it's appropriate for the meeting, and we'll kind of go from there. Back to Jason.
Pass this down again.
Thanks. Thank you.
So it does say it's a possibility that it could go from surface is surface, but
What's that?
the COVID that says it's possible.
Okay, and I think
Yeah.
if we at least do a little bit of homework on it,
Yeah.
kind of, then we can, say, at least we can present, the information to
Exactly.
people. I just would rather cover all
Yeah.
possible,
Yeah, I'm going more into it as
I appreciate it, I do. I would like to jump on it just instantly, but it's just one of those things where you're kind of like,
Yeah.
let's make sure we're safe first, and we're not putting people in unnecessary risk if we can help it.
We should open it up.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
Okay, we're not really getting anything, so we'll just kind of give it one more minute then, since it's as quiet as it is, before we kind of wrap it up.
Oh, we did get a compliment on our water.
Okay,
My sister was out visiting friends and she hadn't been out here in a while and she
Okay.
says, Capron water's starting to taste better. I said, thank you.
It tastes amazing out of the hose.
Well, I took her over and showed her the lift station.
Well.
And well number 3, and she goes, that's the well? And I said, yeah. She goes, it looks like a house. I said, I know, isn't it pretty?
Oh, gotta give a shout out to Dairy Barn on their meat lovers pizza.
Pretty good.
With the pulled pork on it.
so I guess with that in mind, we don't have anything yet, so can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Make a motion.
If I get a second,
I'll second it.
Jason, let's go ahead and get roll call.
Shirley Burkhorn,
Aye.
Brian Wakely,
Aye.
Jessica Mendoza,
Aye.
Conrad Levinski,
All right,
Jordan Dirksen,
Aye.
Camille Wilcox,
Aye.
Linda Wolfhard.
Aye.
awesome, motion carries, meeting is adjourned at 7:28 PM, thank you.
So it'd be wrong for next time we say aye, and I say aye.